We always start with top takeaways, so we'll start with you. What were your thoughts on this loss, 3-point loss at home to Texas Tech?
Well, the big thing is that, again, with the lack of the usual depth that we expect from the U of A, again, Koa Pete not being able to get back in the second half there due to what was described as a lower leg injury by Tommy Lloyd is a little bit concerning. Dwayne Aristode was already out due to an illness. But in the end, even with all that, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, they had two more guys, really, in essence, if you take out C.D. Gay only being in there for about 2 minutes. They had two more guys in the lineup there working with their setup. So it's going to be something to talk about what's going to happen with the depth for this team moving forward and how deep do you keep those guys on the court, because Texas Tech did not have guys sit for very long. What was it? Atwell had 44 minutes. Toppin had 44, and Anderson played the full 45 of extra.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, Grant McCaslin was having those guys working their cardio, and that might be something we need to look at in the future here with the Cats, is trying to get that cardio up to make sure that we can get guys like Del Orso playing the 21. He was in there for 21 minutes. Koa only in there for 11. We're going to have to see exactly how long they can stretch some of these guys out when the depth starts to shrink on that depth chart.
Kelvin, your top takeaways on a 78-75 loss to Texas Tech.
It's like Grant McClaskey said, man, the toughest team won, man. He kept yelling in his huddle, the toughest team is going to win. The toughest team is going to win.
That's their motto. We talked about it on the pregame show.
Yeah, man, and those guys were just physical, man, from start to finish. I mean, U of A was still right there. I mean, I felt like we should have won the game, even with the guys that we had out, a little bit better execution. Finishes around the rim. Korchinkov make a couple more of those shots that he, missed. He was very aggressive, but he missed, a few shots that I think that, normally would go down. Brandon Berries actually is the name because I saw his dad.
Burris.
No. I saw his dad.
His dad?
His dad, yes. I talked to his dad and his mom.
Well, so his dad and his dad's brother don't agree?
They don't agree, and Dad said, go with me. I'm the dad.
Okay.
That's what he told me.
Well,
he
Grandpa said Burris, though. I tend to go with the elders, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, the dad told me, so
somebody who has a very
dad on my way out.
As someone who has a very bizarre name that is said and spelled phonetically different, trust me, it's going to always have two different sides about what you prefer. I'm going to trust it based on how Braden introduces himself and how he wants the name.
So how does it? Can we play that?
Well, hold on. Let me go and get it for you.
I know you have that. So let's see. Let's hear how the young man says it, because that will go a long way to how we say it moving forward. So you saw the dad today at the game?
Yeah, after the game.
Yeah,
after we got
done with our show.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is what Braden Burry says.
Okay, let's hear what he says.
For our starting line.
Yeah.
Braden Burries, 6'5", freshman from San Bernardino, California.
All right, well, see, there you go. If the kid says Burries, then we'll continue saying Burries.
Yeah, that's what the dad told me.
I'm sorry, Unc. I'm sorry, Unc. I mean, Unc was a big guy, so I didn't want to cross him.
Let's be careful.
I didn't want to cross Unc because he looked like he might have played some football back in the day.
And he was adamant.
And he was adamant. Again, that's safe. I mean, everybody has our name actually, like our last name is I spell my last name Kelly. But back in the day, my grandfather spelled it with the second E. Somewhere along the lines, that second E got dropped out. And, that was a debate we had over Christmas a few years ago. Was like, when did the second E go away? And so that's how it works sometimes in families.
Yeah, but again, man, Christian Anderson and Toppin, man, that pick and roll is dangerous, man. Them guys look like NBA players out there and Toppin should be in the NBA already.
Oh yeah,
I mean, but he got like $3 million, so he said he can hang around. He can hang around for another 40 games,
right?
Because that's a guy. If not for NIL, he wouldn't be here easily. Okay, but man, the way Christian Anderson carried those guys and made those big shots, and then in the second half was smart enough to understand that, okay, they're doubling me. Now he started hitting that little pocket pass right in between guys to Toppin, guys finishing. They just were physical, man, and they just did a good job at the end of the day. And you got to tip your cap to Texas Tech. You hate to see Arizona lose, but as you said, two guys down, Koa Pete down, that's huge. That's huge. I mean, you get 2 points from him. But I will say, I saw him on a scooter. We was up there, so we get to see with our eyes, right? So he was riding a scooter around. I was like, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Right? I was thinking to myself, like,
remember DeAndre Ayton used to do that.
Yeah. But
I used to always hold every time I saw it, he used to ride those two-wheelers. What do they call them things with the motorized two wheels, DragonBall?
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy here. I can't
every
be on
time I
anything.
saw DeAndre Ayton on that thing, I held my breath. I was like, oh my God.
Hey, listen,
those things are.
I'll gladly take a guy on a scooter versus someone driving on a golf cart.
Yeah, there was a player there. Who was it that fell off the golf cart a few years ago? I think there was a basketball player. One of the basketball guys fell off the golf cart a few years ago and was out for a little while. I forget who it was. We'll have to go back and look at that again.
Dangerous, sent a big 6'8", 6'9" guy riding on it, but I knew it had to be something. I saw a little ice pack on his lower extremities. Let's say that. And I was wondering what was going on with that. And so, to see him out the game, only played 10 minutes, not really had an explosion. I saw a little lack of explosion in that last game as well. Remember I was telling you about it at the rim?
That's gone back a few games. He wasn't right at ASU. I think it goes back to even before the ASU road game that he's been dealing with something.
Yeah, so those are the things that you go through in the season, man. Little nagging injuries, little things happen as the season goes along. It was a great fight right there. They had a chance down there at the end. I ain't gonna lie, man. I thought we was gonna get the ball to Berries at the end right there, but you can't get mad at your senior for going down trying to get a shot up.
Nope. My top takeaway is, and I'm going to put this a little bit on Tommy Lloyd. I mean, did we not learn anything in terms of JT Toppin going to his left? Do we not remember that from last year? Because he tore Arizona up in Lubbock last year with that little lefty hook jump, whatever that you want to call it. And there was some guy, obviously Toby was in that game, but most of the other bigs, Mo was not there. Cole was not there. Eafon was not there, but they should have been coached up a little bit better on JT Toppin going to his left. I couldn't believe he was getting that shot as easily as he was in this ball game. So I put some of that on the coaching staff for not remembering that that's his go-to from last season, and he killed them, absolutely killed them with it in this particular ball game. I thought, and a positive out of it, I thought this was the hardest and most aggressive that I've seen Jaden Bradley play defense. He was all over Christian Anderson, bumping him, checking him. I was like, wow, I don't know that I've seen Jaden that aggressive at the defensive end of the floor, just really trying to get into his guy and throw him off of his point. I liked that aspect of Jaden because I don't know. I mean, again, he's a good defensive player, but I've never seen him quite raise it to that level before. But again, just not enough. I thought the bigs, they did a decent job. I mean, the percentages are good. I mean, Toby was 5 of 6 in the lane. You can't argue with that. Motias was 4 of 8. So, did Motias turn it over a couple times? Yes. But again, I thought the turnovers were not really the issue. They just couldn't get enough of those opportunities in the paint in this game, like they didn't get enough of them the other night at Kansas. And again, I think now what did they finish? So they finished 23 of 31. The free throws got better as the game went along. I think at one point they were down at 65% again, which is kind of where they'd been the last 2 nights. So that got a little bit better down the stretch. But unfortunately, you give away 2 offensive rebounds at the end of the game, and that seals it.
And you said those 2 offensive rebounds, and also the 2 times, one time with Jaden Bradley, and also the other time with Braden Berries, they lost Atwell.
Yeah.
They lost him
lost him in the corner.
Man, you take them 2 threes away, the game is different. And they did a great job on him up until that point. I mean, he was 3-11, 3 for 11, 3 for 9. He actually took 2-point field goals, but he shot 9 threes, only made 3, and they was there the whole game except for those last 2. Kind of lost him a couple times. You got to stay locked in. And as we said before, when you haven't been in these close games, because you've been blowing everybody out. You've been whooping everybody. And one thing I always say about having a team when you got 5 guys or 6 guys that average double figures or whatnot, you start always thinking the next guy is going to get it done. And then sometimes you saw a few guys kind of went out on their own and try to just make it happen without using the offense and forget that the offense is what's been getting the guys the shots.